What is up, everybody? My name is RC Gates, and welcome my girlfriend to the channel, AC.
Hi.
For the purposes of this video, that's what I'm going to call her. And today, we actually just got back from seeing The Last Jedi. Me for the second time, her for the first time. So, I have some different opinions on it. I'm going to share those sort of at the end of the video, but I wanted to get her thoughts on the movie as well. So what were your thoughts on The Last Jedi? I know you're not the most hardcore Star Wars fan like me.
Well, since I thought overall the movie was still very good, I did think out of this new set of trilogy, the Force Awakens was better so far, but I'm excited for the new movie coming out and other additional movies like the Han Solo movie and everything. But I thought it was still a pretty good movie, and I was very impressed with all the twists and turns that was included in this film, because I cried a few times.
Yes, she's the emotional one out of the both of us.
And I geeked out over the porgs. They were very adorable. And I understand why my friends love the porgs.
Yes, the porgs. I've given my thoughts on the porgs in my last video with the thinking that they were a little bit too much thrown in there. Maybe just have one porg being the...
I like the whole flock. Everyone kept saying that it was like too many porgs for this scene and that scene. I thought, oh, it's gonna be like a really long scene of sorts, but it just felt like less than a minute, and it was fine. That's my opinion.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What did you think about what do you think about the brand of comedy in the movie?
I just felt it was kind of forced for a few people. I did like, for instance, whenever Luke was telling Rey, alright, close your eyes, you're gonna feel the Force, and they're on the island. And then she literally, reaches her hand out, and then he has a little leaf, and he's like, you're feeling the Force, you're feeling the Force. It's like the guy from, is that State Farm commercial? He's like, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. Whoa. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
more Force sensitive, right?
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it, like State Farm Fisher guy or whatever the title would be.
They'll know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So I thought moments like that, or like moments when, like, I think whenever Kylo's still flipping out and he wants Luke killed. What's the Bill Weasley's name?
Hux.
Yeah,
Hux.
I'm still calling him Bill Weasley. He wants Bill Weasley.
She's a big Harry Potter fan.
Slash
That's why
Hux.
she's calling him that.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that Bill Weasley slash Hux was kind of like, all right, he's dead. We need to focus on getting everyone else from the Resistance. And Kylo's like, no, he's gonna die. My uncle's gonna die. So I kind of like the physical aspects of the slight, like, okay, stop, or the minor things. Then...
Jeez, calm down!
Yeah. Please edit the blobbering, because I'm just trying to remember the movie now. But
That's
then
fine.
The other moments that I thought was... I can't remember specifically which ones I thought that was forced, but there was just moments where it's like, why did he just say that line? Because it's just... You're in the middle of an intense scene. I don't need to hear a bunch of comedy at this moment. I need to just have you guys run and do your thing and shoot things.
Specifically the beginning of the movie, like I said last time. Yoda coming back. Because I covered that in my last video too.
Okay, so... Oh, shoot.
So...
A few months ago, Ryan and I were at the mall, and then we were at one of the video stores, and then we saw little Yodas. Mine is not with me right now, but they're both the same thing. And they're very cutely derpy and adorable. Say hello. Hello. How are you today? Yay. So then, out of nowhere, to my surprise, I saw Yoda, and I was like, oh. And like angelic music came in my mind, full of happiness. And then obviously
pretty much how I reacted to it as well.
It was Yoda's spirit. So that was like really sweet that he came, and then whatever other terminology for the Force of how the spirits can come out and stuff for the Jedi.
That'd be the Force Ghosts.
Force ghosts. Mm. And then
I'm her wealth of Star Wars knowledge, in case you couldn't tell.
and then I whispered to Ryan during the movie, like, are they using the original puppet from the prequel trilogy? And he said yes, and I was like,
No.
no.
Original trilogy, not the prequel trilogy. Prequel trilogy.
Oh,
is
sorry,
1, 2, 3.
original trilogy. Yeah, from the original. I asked Ryan in the theater if Yoda was the puppet from the original trilogy, and he said yes, and I kind of like that a lot more, so it's, I guess, a more meaningful experience for Luke and for, I guess, the audience viewers who's been watching all the movies, because I just felt weird with the prequels. It was CGI and everything, but then with the puppet and stuff, I was like, oh, it's so sweet. Hello. So I was very happy about that. And also, speaking of cute things, I thought some of the new, like, animals and stuff, they were really cute, and they're like kind of underestimated because of the porgs. Like,
You mean the crystal things?
the crystal animals, but most importantly, those giant camel-looking things that they were at the casino. Okay.
Oh, that stuff. Oh.
Yeah, they were cute. So that's just me.
I know whenever we came out of The Force Awakens, I didn't do a video on that because I didn't have the channel before that. Whenever we came out of The Force Awakens, I know that you were saying that Kylo was a wuss.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does your thoughts hold true on this movie with that?
Well, whenever he was, like, realizing that Luke Skywalker was coming out of the mine or the cave.
Either one. It's a mine with a cave.
Yeah, where all the resistance has recently landed, so they can, like, seek shelter and everything. Whenever Luke was coming out and Kylo had his look, he was like, "Oh no, he's coming back! I'm gonna kill him for once and for all." And I was just like, I'm literally calling this daddy issues, because you need to let him go. Like, I'm not a fan of the, like, obviously the evil characters going after the good characters and killing them and everything, but you had one job. You don't need to stop everything to be like, oh, I gotta battle him. Woo!
Yes, because Kylo Ren's going like, woo! That would have been more entertaining, I swear to God.
But otherwise I liked seeing him more vulnerable in some of his emotions in the beginning, and then him and Rey coming together and through their train of thoughts and everything with the Force. I'm very terrible at the terminology, so please do not be mad at me, internet. And then after Spoke gets killed, but then
Snoke. It's not Spoke. He's not a bicycle tire.
no, his face was like...
His face looks like it got hit by several bicycle tires, but that's the point.
I think Snoke's the wannabe Voldemort. He had the skull-looking face that's ugly, and then he had the robe. At least it was gold and not black like Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. But I was just like...
He's Voldemort if you Voldemort met Hugh Hefner.
I just thought it was weird that I was like, why does he need like just like a robe and an undershirt underneath? I just thought that was strange. That's just one minor complaint I had about an evil character. But but anyway, what were we saying?
Kylo Ren being a pussy.
Oh. No, but it was good to see Kylo having more emotions and kind of thinking through things, as Snoke was still saying, like, the dark side is I guess you're more of a true family than what you got from Han Solo and Leia as the good side of the...
Light side.
Light side. And,
for every dark side, there's gotta be light side. I got the upside. It's a Spaceballs reference. I was trying to do a Spaceballs reference.
I haven't watched that movie in a year, so I don't remember all the words.
You see, there's two sides to every shorts. I got the downside.
Anywho, but it was, yeah, good character development, and I kind of was very intrigued that he did, for the sake of Star Wars, that he did remain evil, and he still has some sort of plot that he wants to complete, but at the same time, it's kind of pointless for certain things to, like, keep a grudge for all these years. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Kylo Ren.
Okay, here's the thought that was coming to me during the movie when it comes to Kylo Ren. Whenever Snoke was in his little throne room thingy, and he was saying that with the dark side welling up inside of Kylo Ren, and he was saying that there would be the light side which would be rising up to meet him. How at the end of the movie you think that, well, Snoke is dead and Luke is dead, so maybe they're both on that sort of Force ghost plane.
Oh,
So
that's a good point.
again, in my last video, actually no, wait a minute, did I say that in the last video, or did I think that between them? If both of them are dead and they both do battle on that plane, I would totally forgive Rian Johnson for all of the shit that he pulled with this movie. But if that's not the case, I'm going to be super pissed. But that is something that I think that they could build on.
Yeah, I kind of wish Snoke wasn't killed since he was the supreme leader. Because with Kylo now being more sinister and evil, I like that for him individually. But is he now a new supreme leader?
Yes.
I don't know how well that's going to work, because Snoke definitely had more power and he was older and wiser, and then Kylo was still really figuring out his thoughts, and he seemed a little broken too after he killed Han Solo, because he's like, well, I killed him. Snoke's like, well, you gotta do better than that. I still gotta trust you, boy.
These guys like slap him around a little bit, show some force lightning down his throat.
Or slapping him by using the Force and just chucking him everywhere if you wanted to.
I mean, he was throwing the lightsaber around and just like whacking Rey on the face with it.
Well, I was talking before Rey got brought in.
No, I'm saying like if he wanted to do that to Kylo, he could do that.
But yeah, I'm curious though how they're gonna write Kylo being more sinister after Snoke's dead, because it would have been good to still have him around as a high leader, because I don't think Kylo's a strong enough leader in a higher position.
I don't think the character is written well enough, because whenever he's supposed to be the sinister person. Like, I know that you think he's supposed to be sinister, but he's also conflicted, which I could see at the beginning of the movie, but at the end of the movie it's just like, no, he just wants to kill everybody.
Yep.
It's a shift that I don't see happening well in the movie. Another comparison to my thoughts, whenever I know that I've given my thoughts on Holdo's plan for the Resistance, what were your thoughts on Holdo's plan?
Originally, I thought she was a traitor, so obviously...
I was thinking the same thing whenever I first saw it.
Yeah, because so obviously I was like, Leia, you know better than this. And then obviously whenever things were really going downhill, and then Leia's awake from being unconscious and everything, and she's healthy enough to walk around, I was like, oh, so that was the plan. Oh, I was just confused, like, why can't Laura Dern's character just tell Poe, we have a plan, here it is, or we have a plan, but I was told by Leia not to say too much about it. I don't know.
Or even just tell somebody.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Problem is, like, even rewatching this movie, she is written far too sinister. Like, whenever she first talks with Poe. And she's like, oh yes, you flyboys think you know so much, and we totally don't need you because we are gonna do something. And it's just like, okay, something's up with you, so maybe we shouldn't trust you. But
in the end, she was helpful and sacrificed her life, so...
yeah, that doesn't excuse it.
I didn't like how she was written either. That's both of our gist about that.
Yeah. Let's see, other stuff that... Okay, so you said you didn't think that Snoke should have died. I didn't think he should have died. Unless they're gonna have him and Luke fighting in the the Force.
Unless, like, Snoke got his butt off the throne and did something other than using the Force. Then I would have been more impressed.
Well, the Emperor didn't do much else other than that, but it could have been more intimidating.
Well, because I was kind of getting the impression of Snoke being, like, Senator Palpatine and such, and he did, well, okay, this is really bad, jumped around, used electricity, and he used the lightsaber to be like, pew, pew, pew. You did!
Yeah, he did.
So, he was an active fictional character who did...
He was an active villain.
He was an active villain.
A passive villain
and
that
then,
just sits around and does
yeah,
shit.
and that's why I was making fun of Snoke, that he was kind of like Voldemort, but at least Voldemort had his wand and did magic and knew magic, so I was kind of disappointed that Snoke was just sitting on his butt and meh, that's it.
Again, Harry Potter fan here. Okay, we've covered Snoke. What did you think about Luke? Did you like the new way that Luke's character was written?
Nope. I know that he had his hesitations and feelings and fears after what we learned a little bit.
Excuse me.
What we learned a little bit from The Force Awakens, but obviously especially more in The Last Jedi. But I felt that he just gave up too easily. And he was kind of like, not wimpy, but he...
No, you... I will give them one thing for this movie. Rewatching it, I did notice that they did explain how the exertion, I guess you would say, did kill him. Like, whenever Kylo is first having his little Force vision with Rey, he's like, no, you can't actually be here. The exertion would have killed you. Oh. So, rewatching did help with that. It did not help with other things, but it did help me at least understand why that happened. So, again, I didn't like the way that Luke was written.
And I thought Mark Hamill at some point said, this is not the Luke that I've been doing. I didn't really like how he was written.
He didn't like how it was either.
So Mark Hamill, I feel you, because throughout the movie I was like, what?
Mark Hamill, you are the essential Luke Skywalker and the essential Joker. And you deserve better than this.
Yeah. But, yeah, obviously Mark Hamill, fantastic job of the character changes, but I didn't like how Luke was just written, because it just didn't seem like it worked well. But there was also a sudden shift from The Force Awakens. Yes, he did not talk at all, but from this body language and him looking at Rey whenever she comes up on the island and she's handing him the lightsaber. I'm tired. I can't remember anything now.
Yeah, what time is it right now? It's like 10 ish.
No, 8:32.
8:32. It's late-ish.
Well, anyway,
it's a 2.5 hour long movie.
Well, anywho, whenever Rey's coming up in the island and she's handing him the lightsaber, he just had a nice presence that to give a nice cliffhanger into this movie. Like, oh my goodness, like, why is my lightsaber here? Who is this girl? How'd she find me? Like, and I just liked it. Oh, he might be inspired to do something again, and also we'll know, obviously we do, why he's on an island.
Also, the whole thing about The Force Awakens was having a map to find Luke Skywalker. Which, in this movie, Luke says, why would I go to the place that is the most unfindable place in the galaxy? Well, Luke, apparently, you left a map to find you.
Done messed up.
Exactly.
Aaron.
They messed up with this movie, AC.
Yep. But yeah, I like the character, like Mark Hamill, just did not like how his character got written. But the one thing I did like how the character was written, I told RC this on the way home from the theater, was that and then whenever Luke is looking out to the sunset and he dies and fades away, I told him that, wow, whenever we started off with the entire Star Wars movies in general, he's looking out into the sunset, and then it's just nice that he died looking at the sunset. So I thought that was a nice little symbolism.
And it is the twin suns that he's looking at, so
yes.
that does have a sort of nostalgic feel to it that is sorely lacking in the rest of this fucking movie.
But hey, we had Yoda and the puppet Yoda too.
Those were some of the few scenes that I liked. rewatching this, I'm gonna give my thoughts on this right now. My concise thoughts. The scenes that I liked. The throne room battle with Kylo Ren and Rey and the Praetorian Guard. That was fantastically choreographed, and having everything burning around them.
It was epic.
Yes, it was very epic. And even having like the music cues for it, it all fit with the scene very well.
John Williams, you are amazing.
Yes, I will never
Bow
cease.
down.
I will never cease my praise for John Williams. He is amazing. And the second scene, okay, I had 3 scenes that I liked in this movie. Second scene that I liked was whenever Luke was talking with Yoda, because it's Yoda. There's nothing that you can't like about Yoda. Even if it is the CGI Yoda from the prequel trilogies, he's still freaking awesome.
I don't like the CGI.
The character as well.
Yeah.
It's just the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Limitations of the time period. That what brought about like failings from the original trilogy. It was one teacher talking to another teacher about something that they need to learn from and pass on to the remainder of the Jedi. And third scene I liked was whenever the Millennium Falcon was flying around and destroying stuff. Not in space whenever they were on the salt planet Crate. That part was fun because it also had the music from the, I believe it was the second Death Star attack, whenever the Falcon was flying through the inner workings of the Death Star.
I liked that also whenever Luke got to go around the Millennium Falcon again, and it brought a lot of nostalgia too.
Okay, fourth scene, I like that one too.
Because he got to look around and he was like, wow, like, I did a lot of stuff here and had many memories of fighting and everything.
In a ton.
I
That's like the
know.
only time that you get to see him in the Falcon.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
The feels are true whenever it comes from the original trilogy.
And again, I cried for some of the scenes in the movie.
I was close to tears of rage for that one. Well, not for that scene, but for a lot of stuff.
Like, Leia. Can we talk about Leia?
Super Leia? Yes, we can talk about Super Leia. Your thoughts, because I was being a jerk in the movie theater.
This was him the entire time. And so we're sitting how we are now, and this is him. Literally, just angrily staring at the movie, and I was just like, all right, well, he's already seen it. I guess he can just look angry. But then whenever the ship gets exploded and Leia's like floating in space, I was like crying. I was like, why? I thought Carrie Fisher had more in this movie before she died. Come on, folks. And then obviously
She was a Leia sickle.
Luckily, they had the energy to fly and get help from the resistance of her crew and everything.
Da 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 da. Come on, people want to see you.
But yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? Then obviously another time I was crying was when
I burst out laughing during that scene.
You were the only one that was laughing that scene.
Exactly. I knew what to expect.
I laughed. What part did I laugh in? Because there was something I was.
You were laughing at the porgs.
Oh, the porgs are so cute, guys. And then they had the baby porgs, and I was like, oh my goodness. Ah!
You were laughing at the porgs, and you were laughing at whenever Luke was being a smartass.
It was funny, especially with the leaf.
I laughed one time whenever during the Millennium Falcon chase, whenever they were getting chased by TIE fighters, and it turned sideways and the porg fell in the window. That was funny.
And Chewbacca had no care whatsoever. He just wanted to make sure he gets the job done.
He was just like, get out of my way, you stupid chickens.
Literally. And also, he almost ate one of them, too. And then the last one was like, you ate my brother. No! How dare you?
He's like, my name is Jeff. His name is Jeff.
Yeah, that's, That's that part that we like. At least I liked, or cried too, also. But what else are you talking about?
Let's see.
My heart.
Let's see. I talked about Benicio del Toro's character. What were your thoughts on the Master Code Breaker?
Not necessary.
I didn't think that whole segment of movie was necessary. If they had made him Boba Fett, that would have been 10 times better.
Boba Fett's dead.
It depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at solely by movies, then he is. But if you're looking by what's canon, then he is not. Excuse me. If you're looking by what's canon, he is not. He actually blasted out of the Sarlacc pit several days later.
I'm not the very intense
Like I
fan in this
said, I am
relationship.
her wealth of information for Star Wars. I want to see Boba Fett in the movie again.
Yeah, Boba Fett with a stutter. That definitely works.
I could say that maybe his like nerves got severed or something like that. Other than that,
Yeah, I didn't think that was necessary. It did bring like some mystery, and I thought, oh, this guy's gonna help him. But once we realized really quickly, he betrayed them. I was like, that was a waste. That was a wasted scene and all. So
the whole Finn and Rose subplot was a waste of time.
I liked it.
Did you like the movie aspect of it, or did you like the way it made sense? Because it didn't make sense.
I thought it was just there's a new character, and then she's helping Finn out while Finn is worried about Rey. So he has another friend to hang out with. I don't know what I'm talking about.
See, that's the difference of opinions. I thought Finn was pointless in this movie.
I love Finn. I love Rey more, but I love Finn.
Rey scenes I could tolerate more because they were with Luke. Finn had no point in this movie. They could have had it being more of Poe interacting with the Resistance leaders, and that would have made more sense.
But yeah, but also another complaint I had was in the very beginning, after we have the classic ba 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 ba, we have all the information,
The text scroll.
yeah, of what's going on, and then we start with the stars. I'm a communication major, so I literally looked at this very differently at the same of a different perspective than a typical movie watcher, and then like cinematography and other things. Anyway, so we started off. I mean, we end the opening credits, and then we have the stars, and then we scroll down, and then all of a sudden there's all the spaceships coming in. I don't know why, but the CGI from the first like 5 to 10 minutes that we were watching the movie, I was like, this is like the prequel trilogy of prequel trilogy of the suckiness of the CGI. What's up with that? We got better. And then as the movie went on and on, CGI got better, so I couldn't tell that easily. But that ticked me off a bit. But otherwise, the entire movie, cinematography-wise, it was very nice, and there was good use of lighting and other colors. But what was I talking about?
You were talking...
Cinematography.
Quick pause. You were talking about cinematography. Like I was saying with my thoughts, the cinematography was good as well. I liked whenever it was the hyperspace jump, or light speed jump, I should say. That was epic. And I enjoyed how like some of the lighting was and the situational awareness of some of the like environments, I guess you would say. Like whenever Luke and Rey were fighting in the lightning storm, that was cool.
I liked also Snoke's seating area of like
throne
room of all the red and everything. I thought that was pretty unique. And also whenever Luke's force comes to the mine, and then he gets to talk to Leia really quick. I thought that was sentimental, since obviously they're siblings, and then he gave her a kiss on the forehead and gave her like that keychain thing from Han.
The dice from Han.
The dice from Han.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really neat, but also...
Okay, fifth scene that I liked. Yeah, no, I'm saying
Oh, okay.
that was my fifth scene that I liked. I'm adding scenes.
Oh. Another reason I liked it was because like they did a good job using sun, like with natural light. So whenever he went over to kiss her in the forehead and stuff, and then there was a moment it's just them looking at each other, you got a nice quick moment of like a silhouette as the sun's going through them, and it kind of gave some ambience that he's gonna die, but obviously he died in another way. But I was like, oh no. But I thought it was really sweet and everything.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And what would you say your final thoughts on the movie are?
I
know that you're not well versed with all of the movies.
Yeah.
But like, what would you say that this movie would be on like a general scale?
Like rating it
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah, let's say out of 10.
I would give it an 8 because I like the cinematography and how a lot of like Kylo and Rey's character development. Not much Luke's because I just hated how he was written for this one. But I thought it was still a pretty impressive movie, and I'm looking forward to future films to see how they go and everything.
Alrighty. My thoughts on the movie. My thoughts did not improve from the last time I saw this movie.
You should have seen him in the theater.
Oh my. Me in the theater. I am sorry for her. I did not enjoy this movie. I'm going to have to actually lower my review from last time. I think this is the worst Star Wars movie since The Phantom Menace. Worse than The Phantom Menace. Because at least The Phantom Menace I could follow. I didn't like how most of the characters were. I really wanted to see a better send-off for Luke Skywalker. I did appreciate that they at least explained how he died. But again, he died.
Into the sunset.
Yes, into the sunset, but a lot of characters just ride off into the sunset. That is not how I want to see Luke Skywalker go off. So yeah, she enjoyed it. I did not. Difference of opinions I will let slide. But there are our thoughts on it. If you enjoyed the video, or if you share our thoughts on it, whether it be mine or hers, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all of that fun stuff. If you want her to keep reviewing movies with me, please let me know down in the comments section below.
Or any other contents on his channel, because I will do my best. I suck playing video games, so don't ask me to do that.
Maybe I'll have her do some horror games with me.
I'm a wimp.
But that will all be for later, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. RC Gates and AC out.